BMRform.com and BMRodds.com, boys. Welcome back to episode number 130 of The Lobby. As always, each and every week, Sammy, does your heat not work in your house? You got a hoodie on, you got a hat on. Either you're having a bad hair day, which I wouldn't be totally surprised.
No, never. Hair is beautiful. You want to know what's going on, Bobby? It's the East Coast weather. We got 5-6 inches of snow yesterday in good old upstate New York. So always fun getting to clean that up and doing the driveway, snow blowing the driveway, then a little bit of rain afterwards. Today the roads were fine, but yesterday the main roads, you weren't going more than 30 miles per hour. Winter is officially here in upstate New York.
Are we going to see a Sammy on the lot snow removal video?
You're probably not, because now that I'm a manager, I have guys that do that now. And also it happened to turn out that today was my day off as they were cleaning the lot. I was in the group message as the guys were talking. I was just laughing like, aha.
Yeah, just make the new guys do that, right?
Yeah, now the salesmen do that, so that's not me anymore.
Very, very nice. And moving on, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Doing good, other than my Eagles sucking right now, and now there's just no peril in getting the first overall seed. Sometimes we can't pass, we can't play well, we get run against now, but there's always a chance to play against a broken-handed quarterback on Monday night. But outside of that, doing well, man, for December. It is cold, by the way, up here in the Northeast. It is cold.
Yes. I mean, it's cold out here in Vegas, not relative to what you guys are facing. Yeah. I mean, in the morning time, I get up, it's 40, 45 degrees. There's definitely a chill in the air. Dang. But it's nothing like back east. I remember those days.
I see you're wearing a long sleeve too, Bobby. So what do you hate on me for?
Shorts.
Damn it.
And last but not least, Reload. What's up, buddy?
Hey, doing well here. Back on the home turf here in the New Jersey area. And we only got rain, thankfully. All that snow Sammy got.
Yeah, we missed it.
It wasn't quite cold enough here. So just rain here, but it was enough to make the Jets-Falcons game a mess. And cash with the Jets, so maybe it helped.
Well, speaking of cash, and let's get some winners from you, Sammy. Let's talk some NBA. What do you got?
NBA, the Knicks are playing. It seems to happen every Wednesday when we're on the show, so it's a good omen. Knicks on a back-to-back. There's a lot of games on a back-to-back. Knicks lost last night on the road against Boston, so they're back home against Charlotte. They are 8.5-point favorites. That might be too big of a number. So maybe throw them in some money line parlays, because a lot of the favorites tonight are huge. Other than a few games that are less than 5 points, pretty much everyone is double digits. So a lot of parity there in the NBA between the top teams and the bottom teams. How about Oklahoma City? They're 22-1 now? I mean, they're historic what's going on right now. But some other games are like Cleveland over Portland, and I'll take Detroit over the Bucks.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Donnie, NBA tonight. What do you got?
Yeah, by the way, Giannis Antetokounmpo is starting to say like he wants out of Milwaukee, something to keep an eye on at this point, how long he's with the Bucks or if they make trades to sort of appease him. But tonight I've been doing very well with public fades here. I'm going to go with another public fade tonight. The Indiana Pacers getting about 35% of the tickets here. That line opened up at 7.5. The majority of the outlets still at 7.5. I'll take the dog Pacers tonight at home. Last night the Pelicans without Zion, and they damn near almost won the game, went to overtime, getting 10 points, which is what I got yesterday morning, and ended up being like 13.5 at game time. Still was able to win. But for me, I'll keep it simple. Pacers tonight. Nobody wants the Pacers. I want the Pacers.
All righty, Donnie. Good luck. Reload, over to you. NBA tonight. What do you got?
Yeah, well, here we are again. I'm on the opposite of Sammy's plays. What else is here? We got the Trailblazers. I got the Portland Trailblazers plus the big number in Cleveland. It's a back-to-back for Portland, but I think it's a spot where they can keep it close. And I also like the under in that game. I posted those earlier today. And I am also going with the Milwaukee Bucks against the Pistons. Milwaukee plus 4.5. The teams just played a short time ago, a week or so ago, but Mr. Giannis was not in that one. So I think the Bucks will keep it close here against the Pistons too.
All righty, thank you. Sammy, let me jump back over to you. Let's talk some college hoops. What do you got?
Nothing really in the college hoops. I'm definitely watching it. Last night I did watch the ACC SEC Challenge over the last couple of days. Duke had a huge win against Florida. Real back and forth matchup where Duke kind of stole the game at the end in the last couple minutes. So that was pretty exciting. So just like Donnie, I'm definitely watching it. Definitely not betting as much on the college basketball, but, paying attention.
All righty, thank you. Donnie, over to you. College basketball, anything to
Yeah, nothing. Just keeping an eye on it at this point right now. We're starting to get that nice like versus like competition out the ACC, battling over with the Big Ten and the whatever they call. Is it who is it? It's the ACC and it is the SEC, I believe, having their crossover games, which is fun to watch, but I don't have any wagers. January starts cooking, we'll be firing away on college basketball. Just waiting for those numbers to pile up, so nothing from me.
Reload, over to you. Anything?
Yeah, I got a couple of plays for college hoops. Put them on the forum earlier. I like NC State tonight +8 at Auburn, and also Texas minus the short number 2.5 against Virginia. Like Donnie said, it's part of the whole ACC, SEC, and I'm taking one ACC and one SEC. So we'll see how that works out.
All righty, thank you. And gentlemen, the Poker Tournament Champions final event will be this upcoming weekend. So anyone who's listening, anyone who thought they may have made it in and did not receive a private message from me in regards to the big Tournament of Champions final event, please feel free and shoot me a message. Comment in my pinned thread on top of Better's Chit Chat. I'll make sure I get you the information for the final tournament event. But that being said, Sammy, let me jump over to you. NFL Week 13 is in the books. How was it for you?
Week 13 wasn't bad, but actually, Bobby, go back to the big box. I'm going to turn this back around to you. Last week, we talked about a little contest that you graced upon, a $1,000 10-pick contest. Had to go 6-4. Well, the results are in, and Saturday night was what a night, 3-0 in the NBA. Congrats, Bobby. $1,000 winner.
Wow.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I definitely appreciate that. And once again, a big shout out to Roofer for blessing me this holiday season with that big win. So very excited to get that. Unfortunately, in full transparency, a couple days later, I did go into the casino and found a advantage slot play at $4 a pull. Unfortunately, I did lose a good chunk of it. I did lose about $700 on the play before it finally hit. So unfortunately, I do have a little bit less money than that $1,000. That being said, it was a 17 times comp day, so I did rack up about $35 in comps. And I hope to get a decent mailer from them. Last time I gave the property a pretty decent play, they sent me about $330 in free play 2 months in a row. So you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to be upset about it because I know in my head, and the math speak for itself, I definitely played a good machine at the right time. It just unfortunately didn't work out to my advantage. I played this machine in the past. It's worked out. It's hit really quickly. I've made money on this machine. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case with this one. But you know what? Brush it off, move on, and live to fight another day.
Get the next one.
Yeah, that's all right. No machine ever works for me, so be happy that some machine never works for you.
Yeah, I would just take that free play next time, run it through some video poker, cash it out, and then see what happens from there.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Reload. If they send me something January, February, just go in there, play video poker, run it up, add that amount to the bankroll, and keep it moving. So, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to be upset about it. Like I said, long term, playing these plays, which I've shared here on the show before, I definitely have an advantage. Unfortunately, this one just didn't work out. But, like I said, I've played this machine in the past. It's worked out. So, it is what it is. But once again, thank you, Roofer, again, for the generous contest. And thank you, everyone, especially Sammy, for rooting me on. Along in the contest. I know that threat was really popular last week, Sam.
Oh, yeah, it was popping. It was fun. A lot of fun.
Yes, it was definitely a lot of fun.
But yeah, week 13, getting back to it. Yeah, pretty good for me. Thanksgiving Friday, with the Bears, and I had Thanksgiving with the Cowboys winning. That was great. They're on a 2-game win streak against or a 3-game against the last year's Super Bowl. I had 15 points last week, so kind of hanging around there, but nothing major. Not like the leaders right now. 2 guys last week had 23 points. Underage and Empire Maker, and the leader only had 24 points, DJP, but shout out to him. And then the overall leaderboard, Donnie, you're sitting there at 12th at 197, Fourth place, you get J.R. Groom at 216. You got two tied at second, Mike 1, 2, 3, 4, and Bacardi Artie with 219. And the leader again and again is Try, sitting there with a 14-point lead at 233 points.
All righty. Thank you, Sammy. You bring up a good point. I want to touch on this real quick before I jump over to Donnie and Reload with their Week 13. Sam, how was your Thanksgiving? What'd you do?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Just went to my parents' house. I made the mac and cheese, so enjoyed that. Played some. How'd it turn out? Turned out great. It always turns out great. And then played some board games with my dad and my parents and my brothers, and then had some dessert, and then went back for I think like the second half of the Cowboys. So went over at like 12:30, left at like 6:30 or whatever. Good.
Nice. I know you're more into this than I'm sure Donnie and Reload. But Wednesday night, did you go out to the bar?
No, I'm in my mid-30s now, which is not the mid-20s and the young 20s, which is that crowd and generation to go out. I certainly did during that time, but no, I sat my ass at home and drank like I do by myself, like an old man.
All right. Speaking, Reload, over to you. How was your Thanksgiving, and how was your Week 13 in the NFL?
Yeah, Thanksgiving was great. Tried something different this year. Stayed in and got the Costco Thanksgiving kit.
They have a Costco Thanksgiving kit?
Yeah, for all you need to know, it's $40. And
what does it include?
It's got everything: turkey, stuffing, mashed, string beans, even cranberry sauce. They throw everything into this. And lasted quite a while, and really easy to make, easy to heat up, and got a pumpkin pie to go with it because you got to have that too. And between all that, it was a great Thanksgiving.
Awesome. How was Week 13 for you?
Oh, it was super. Swept the board on Sunday. The picks I posted.
Nice.
Had the Carolina Panthers winning outright over the Rams. The Jets winning outright over the Falcons in that wild finish to that game. And the Washington Commanders had them Sunday night. And really, it was looking pretty good, plus 6.5. And then it went to overtime. And you think, oh, well, here we go. And the Broncos got the touchdown. And it's like, well, here I am. You got to get the touchdown to tie it. And they did. They missed the 2-point conversion. But that's why you get the plus 6.5 and still cash.
Exactly right. And last but not least, Donnie, how was your Thanksgiving, and how was Week 13 for you?
Thanksgiving was good. Had a nice meal, hit the dispensary up, got some edibles, relaxed, took some time off, got to sleep in late. It was great. Then Sunday happened, and it wasn't very good in the pool here. I took some quarterbacks I should not have taken here, and things didn't work out in my favor. So looking to bounce back in the pool this week, get back into the top 10. So there's that.
All righty. Sammy, let me jump over to you. Let's talk about the college football finals.
Yeah, coming down to the conference finals this weekend, and then we're a couple weeks away from the playoffs starting. Obviously, every week they're unveiling their 1 through 12 with the 4 byes, and then 5 through 12 playing in the first round. But this week is going to add the final solidity to it, and then put the champions in their spot. Talk about the ACC, where Duke has a chance at a guaranteed spot in the playoffs. That'd be pretty crazy. But for me, I guess my strategy is just to go with all the favorites and figure at least 3 out of 4 are going to win and cover. So I'm going to go with Texas Tech over BYU, Georgia by less than a field goal over Bama, Virginia is about a field goal over Duke, and then Ohio State's about a field goal, maybe 4, based on where you're getting it, over Indiana.
All righty, thank you. Reload conference finals, over to you, buddy.
Yeah, we got a decent card of matchups here for the weekend, starting Friday night too, so don't forget those. Friday night, North Texas and Tulane. That's got my attention. I'm liking the under in that one, under 66.5. It's an interesting matchup because North Texas had very high-scoring games. They were putting up like 50 a game, and Tulane's games tend to be lower scoring. The game is in Tulane in New Orleans, and the under is 5-1 there this season. So I think the under 66.5, some good value there. I think you'll see a lower scoring game than usual with North Texas involved there. Saturday, I like the MAC championship, Western Michigan -2.5 against Miami, Ohio. Western Michigan lost during the regular season to them, but Miami is 0-4 in their last 4 against the spread as a dog. and Western Michigan 5-1-1 against the spread in their 7 spots as a favorite. So I'm liking to lay the short number there with Western Michigan. I've also taken a look at Alabama, Georgia. I'm going to wait and see what happens with the line. It's sitting at 2.5. I'm leaning Alabama there, but I want to get more than 2.5. Hopefully it hits 3. We'll see what happens there. And Ohio State, Indiana, the big one. It's too bad that's not a standalone game. They stuck Duke and Virginia on at the same time. I don't get that, but maybe the WNBA is doing the scheduling here. I don't know. But Ohio State's my lean there. The line is going down. Was sitting at 4.5, starting to see 4s. So I think I'm just going to wait and see there too. Hopefully it gets lower, goes south, and step in and take Ohio State minus the points.
All righty, thank you, Reload. Donnie, conference championships. What do you got?
Yeah, big stakes this weekend, too. Like Georgia and Alabama probably both going to be in, which I think is crazy. If Alabama loses to Georgia, has 3 losses, and somehow gets in over multiple teams with 2 losses or less, that would be insane if that actually took place here. But I'm going to go with Georgia. I think Georgia's the better team. They're playing in Atlanta. It's not really a home game because it's a split SEC. Bama fans traveled. I have no problem getting there. Georgia fans will be there. That's always the best environment. I'm going to lay the 2.5 in that game, make sure it stays under 3 points. Indiana, Ohio State is interesting to me, but because that game is, all right, you get bragging rights for winning the Big Ten, but both of these teams are moving forward with high seeds regardless of wins or losses in this game, and we'll see if they play a little bit down the line. That 5.5 opening number down to 4.5 is interesting. If I had to just take a flyer, I'd probably go with Indiana at this point to see what they have as more as a measuring stick game for them than Ohio State. But if I had to just pick one game, it's probably going to be Georgia laying the 2.5 points in Atlanta.
All righty, Donnie. Thank you. And last but not least, Sammy, let me jump over to you. Week 14 is coming up in the NFL. What do you got for your 7?
Yeah, got to start off with the boys on Thursday night football. Of course, on the road, one of the hottest teams in football. Well, outside of New England on a double-digit game win streak. But the Dallas Cowboys, they got to potentially win out or maybe 4 out of 5 to have a chance. The Eagles are on a downward spiral. Cowboys, they're hot. And again, they have one of the top offenses. They have the best wide receiver tandem. They have a top 5 tight end. It's just if their defense can give up less than 25 points. But again, the offense can compete. And Detroit, Super Bowl contenders preseason aren't really where their expectation is. So this is do or die for both teams. And a lot of the matchups over the next couple of weeks and even this week are like that. But give me Dallas on Thursday night football. Starting on Sunday, I like Miami over the Jets. Miami's on a good little win streak. The Jets, they stink. And yeah, sure, they did win last week, but it wasn't an impressive win. It was an impressive kick by Nick Folk at the end. But overall, the Jets, they're not a good football team. So give me Miami. They're rolling a little bit. I like Jacksonville at home. Indianapolis now no longer the division leader. Losers of a couple in a row. Now that they're being really tested, Daniel Jones, how injured is he really? They haven't won in the last couple. So give me Jacksonville at home. That typically is a winner in that matchup as well, historically. I like the Bengals plus 5.5 at Buffalo. I kind of root for Buffalo, and I hope that they win by a field goal just because got a lot of Buffalo fans. My brother's a fan. But I think, Joe Burrow and that Bengals offense is back, and they still technically, I think, have an outside chance if they win out and Baltimore and Pittsburgh continue to struggle. So give me the Bengals there. I like the Bears, the number 1 team in the NFC right now. There's a surprise. I like the Bears plus 6.5 at Green Bay. You keep betting against the Bears, but the Bears keep finding a way to win. And in this scenario, at least maybe hope to lose and keep it close. But Green Bay can take over. Bears can go from 1 to 6 in a matter of a couple weeks. Or will the Bears continue to prove that they deserve to be number 1? That's pretty crazy. I like Kansas City over Houston. Kansas City pretty much in a must-win and a must-win out scenario. Back at home, they did lose on the road against Dallas, but they did win 2 weeks ago at home against Indy. I think in a must-win situation at home by a field goal, give me them. And then last but not least, I'm going to take the Chargers Monday Night Football at home. Another reeling team in the NFC and need them to lose as the Cowboys continue to win. And there you go.
Well, Donnie booed that one, so he must be on the other side. What do you got for your 7, Don?
Yeah, taking a look here. I'm going to take the Commanders against the Vikings, not because I like the Commanders, but the Vikings are so bad at quarterback that you have to go with Marcus Mariota if he's going to get another start. I think that makes some sense. Also, I'm going to take the Jaguars at home getting the 1.5. The Colts, look, we know Jonathan Taylor's really good, but if your quarterback has a broken leg and Sauce Gardner's not playing, give me the home team. Jaguars playing really good football right now. Also, the Dolphins and the Jets, I'm going to take the Jets at home, getting the 2.5 points again. Cold weather, Dolphins, come on now. Jets are playing hard at the end of the season. I'll take the 2.5. Boy, I would like the 3 points in that game, but it's 2.5. That's why you got to settle. How about this one? The Browns. Yes, I'm taking the Cleveland Browns minus 3.5 over the Titans. Not because I like Shador. That defense is filthy for the Browns, but at the same time, Tennessee can't move the football. I don't care who they're playing anywhere at any time. Give me the Browns to get the win, like a 14-10 game to just get that cover. Ravens and the Steelers. I'll take the Ravens minus 5.5. I'm done with the Steelers. They look horrific, and this is the first week where everybody is practicing full week for those Baltimore Ravens. I'll grab them. Buffalo Bills for me. Cold weather conditions, I think they step up. They showed their max last week, which ran 51 times against the Steelers. I think they play bully ball against the Bengals and come away with that victory. And I'm going to take the Packers. I don't like this, but I know a lot of people are hot on the Bears, and they should be. The Bears are good. Packers at home to win by a touchdown. How about that?
Huh. All right, Donnie. Good luck with those.
Yeah.
Reload over to you. NFL Week 14 is coming up. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start off Thursday night. The Lions -3 against Dallas.
You never take favorites.
I never take favorites. You're right.
Go.
I've got a few of them this week for some reason. You know, late in the season, that's what happens with some of these lines. They get they tighten up a little, and you take a good look at things. And some of these underdogs can become dogs with fleas. The public just starts jumping on them because they get a little hot. And, you know, that's what's happening here with Dallas. They won a couple big games. Now they got to go on the road to Detroit. Detroit's off the Thanksgiving loss to Green Bay. And laying the flat 3 is a nice spot here. So we're going to take Detroit in the Thursday night game. Also looking at the Vikings, another favorite. Sitting at -2.5, hosting Washington. McCarthy is expected to be back. At least the line is moving that way. So that looks good for them. Washington played their hearts out Sunday night. Vikings really have to get back on track here. This, to me, is the get-right game for them. So Minnesota at home there, -1.5. Also looking at the Falcons, +7. Hosting Seattle. So the Falcons, I've talked about them a lot this season. I'm either on them or against them, and I'm guessed right each time, it seems. So again, Falcons off a crummy game against the Jets. Now they go home. They get more points as a home dog. It's a better spot for them here. I would like to see 7.5 instead of 7. So I'm going to wait that out and hope it goes up. Also looking at the New Orleans Saints, +8.5 at Tampa Bay. Good divisional matchup here. Good divisional dog play on the Saints. Tampa Bay 1-3 against the spread as a home favorite. And the Saints have held their own. No, I think most of their road spots have been against better teams in Tampa Bay. So they tend to be more competitive against mid-range teams here. I think the line should have been more like maybe 6.5, 7. So we're getting 8.5 with New Orleans and Tampa Bay. And finally, we talked about the Monday night game, Eagles and Chargers. Another favorite for me, a rare road favorite, Eagles -3.
Yeah.
I think this is it for them. They really need the win. And we know what the home advantage in LA is basically nothing. It's like almost a neutral site game. Right. So I think the Eagles need this one after losing to the Bears and losing to everybody, it seems. And I'm going to grab that. Even seeing some 2.5s on the board. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll take the Eagles as road chalk in that one.
All righty. Well, I know that makes Donnie very happy. But thank you, gentlemen. Good luck on all your NFL and all your sports action this weekend. And good luck to everyone watching this episode of The Lobby. And we will see you guys on the forum.
Peace.
All right.